Hello there. This is a very special episode of Electric Sheep. I need to bring attention to something that's very important. I wear a Canada flag cape to raise awareness for suicide prevention. Not everybody knows that's why I wear the cape, but this story has a very specific message, and it's an outright rejection of Canada's current stance on assisted suicide and and is a rejection of suicide in any form, not just medically assisted suicide. So I will read the story rather than have ChatGPT read it because it feels important. So without any further ado, the alien who raged against the dying of the light. Far beyond the stars, in a nebula untouched by time, there lived a being called Viel-Zier. He was not a god nor a demon, but something older than both, an observer tasked with recording the evolution of intelligent species. Viel-Zier had watched countless civilizations rise and fall, from the burning bursts of planets to the final sighs of dying suns. But among all the worlds he had studied, none bewildered him more than Earth. At first, humanity fascinated him. They were creatures of fire and fury who conquered the impossible. They built cities from stone, defied gravity, and tore secrets from the very fabric of the universe. Their resilience was a force unmatched, a refusal to surrender, even against war, disease, and despair. But then Vialzir saw something that enraged him beyond reason. Some of them gave up. Some of them turned away from the struggle, believing life was too painful to continue. Others whispered that ending one's own existence was a choice, that there is dignity in surrendering to despair. And worst of all, there were those who encouraged it, who peddled the idea that to end life was to reclaim power over it. Vielzir, who had seen stars perish and galaxies fall silent, trembled with wrath. "You fools!" he roared into the void. "You do not understand the sacred defiance of life. Each breath is a war against nothingness. Each heartbeat is a rebellion against the abyss. You are miracles who fight against the great entropy, and you throw it away. I will not allow this." And so he descended upon earth like a tempest, abducting those who had chosen to give up, those who had stood on bridges, swallowed poisons, or believed in the mercy of death. He plucked them from their moments of surrender and brought them aboard his great vessel, a cathedral of light drifting beyond time. There he confronted them. He showed them the infinite blackness of the void, the silence where no laughter, no music, no warmth existed. He showed them the long dead civilizations who had perished not by war, but by despair, by the acceptance of oblivion. Who had perished not by war, but by despair, by the acceptance of oblivion. But he did not only show them death. He showed them the first human who had tamed fire, the mother who endured labor to bring forth new life, the soldier who carried his wounded friend through hellish battlefields. He showed them the artist who created beauty from suffering, the scientist who unraveled the mysteries of existence, the child who laughed even in hunger. Vielzir's voice shook the walls of his vessel as he spoke. "Do you not see? Life is the most defiant thing in the universe. It is the fist raised against darkness, the scream of something that refuses to be nothing. Each day you live, you win. Each day you suffer and endure, you become a greater. You become greater than the void that seeks to destroy you." The abducted ones, at first afraid, now stared in awe. One of them, a man who had lost everything, whispered, "But life hurts." Vielzir gazed into his soul. "Yes, life is suffering, but suffering is the anvil upon which the strongest are forged. What is strength without struggle? What is triumph without trial? The universe has gifted you the rarest thing, existence, and you will throw it away because it is difficult? A woman who had been ill and longed for release said, "But I am weak, I am dying." Vialzir knelt before her, his burning eyes filled with something that almost seemed like sorrow. "Even now you are alive. Even now you are shaping the meaning of what it is to be human. Even now you fight against the end. Do you not see how beautiful that is?" And one by one they began to weep, not in despair, but in revelation. They saw at last that life was not meant to be easy, it was meant to be fought for. The universe did not give victories freely, it demanded warriors who would carve meaning from chaos. Fielzir, seeing their newfound understanding, released them back to Earth. They awoke not as broken souls they had been, but as beings who knew a truth greater than any god or heaven. Each day of life is a triumphant victory. Each day of life is a genesis of what life could be, and none of them would ever surrender again. And Vialzir watched them return to their world, standing taller, eyes light with defiance. He whispered into the void, "Live, humans. Live and rage against the dying of the light." Now, I told ChatGPT to write a bedtime story, and that was the story. So I don't want you to say no to suicide. I need you to choose no. Because suicide is the one cause of death that could just disappear tomorrow. If everyone just chose not to go down that path, suicide could cease to exist. And that is what I hope, and that is my goal. My name is Joseph Arthur Roszell. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all the luck in the world, and I love you very much.